Have you ever walked into a room, a bar, a party, and just felt like a ghost? You're there, but it's like no woman can even see you. It is a deeply frustrating feeling, but here's the good news. It's a problem you can actually solve. So, let's break down how. The author Chase Amante has talked about this feeling, describing it as this constant despair when he was younger. He'd see other guys just effortlessly connecting with women while he felt totally unseen. If that sounds even a little bit familiar, I get it. A lot of guys do. But the most important thing to know is that you are not stuck there.
So, when you feel invisible, it's pretty natural to slip into a daydream, right? You know the one I'm talking about. The perfect girl, the manic pixie dream girl, who will somehow see past everything, discover the real you, and just pursue you. It's a really comforting thought, but honestly, waiting for that fantasy to come true is a trap that keeps you from ever taking action.
And let's just be real about the odds here. For every one woman who might actually take the lead like that, there are literally hundreds of other guys hoping for the exact same thing. So waiting to be discovered isn't a strategy. It's like playing the lottery, and the odds are terrible. It's pretty much a guaranteed way to stay exactly where you are, invisible.
Okay, so if waiting around doesn't work, what's the next logical step? Well, most guys think, I just have to try harder. The problem is, the way most men try harder sends them straight into what we can call the attraction traps.
And this is what trying harder usually looks like, right? You memorize some clever pickup lines, but they just sound fake and, well, needy. You follow her on social media, but you're just one name in a list of 10,000 others. Or you jump on the dating apps only to find yourself screaming into a hurricane of other dudes.
And speaking of dating apps, just look at these numbers. On an app like Tinder, the user base is something like 80% male. That's a 4-to-1 ratio of guys competing for the same women's attention. So instead of helping you stand out, a lot of these common strategies actually make the problem of being invisible even worse.
So if waiting is a trap, and all the common advice on trying harder just backfires, what is the real reason you feel invisible? Well, it actually boils down to one single, incredibly powerful concept. And once you really get this, everything changes.
And here it is. The whole thing comes down to this one word: neediness. Mark Manson has a great definition for it. He says it's when you value other people's perception of you more than your own perception of yourself. Just think about that for a second. Memorizing lines, chasing likes, spamming messages, all of it is about trying to get approval from someone else. That is the real root cause of invisibility.
So, what does neediness look like in the real world? Well, it's something like exaggerating or straight up lying about your job or your life just to seem more impressive. It's a behavior that basically screams, I don't think who I really am is good enough for you.
And what's the opposite of that? It's being non-needy. It's about expressing your interests and your desires openly and honestly. This is not about getting her approval. It's about being secure enough in yourself to just state how you feel, no matter what happens next.
Here's another classic needy move, trying to hide all your flaws. It's this desperate attempt to look perfect, which means you can't take any kind of criticism because it shatters that fragile illusion you've built just to get other people to like you.
So what's the non-needy way? It's being okay with not being perfect. It's being unafraid to show your flaws. This signals a kind of deep, quiet self-acceptance that is way, way more attractive than any fake perfect persona you could ever put on.
So the huge takeaway here is that this is not about learning some new trick or memorizing a better line. It's about a fundamental shift in your mindset. It's about moving from trying to appear attractive to actually being attractive. And that's an inside job.
And this is the path to get there. First, you have to invest in yourself. But for you, hit the gym because you want to be healthy. Learn an instrument because you're curious. Your life has to be the main event, not some big strategy to impress women. When you do that, step 2 happens naturally. You start to trust yourself more. You value your own opinion of you. And then the goal itself totally reframes. Attraction is no longer the mission. It just becomes a natural, awesome side effect of living a life that you're actually proud of.
Okay, so you've started to shift your mindset, you're working on that internal confidence. But how do you actually turn that into real-world action? How do you finally get seen?
Honestly, the formula is pretty simple, but that doesn't mean it's easy. First, you have to get offline. Real human connection happens face-to-face. Second, you've got to get real data. Stop guessing and assuming what women want and just start talking to them. And third, and this is the big one, you have to make a move.
You have to approach, express your interest, and risk getting rejected. This is the moment you stop being invisible.
And that is why making a move is so incredibly powerful. All that work you've done on yourself builds the confidence you need to be bold. And as Mark Manson says, that boldness, that willingness to show you're interested without apologizing for it, is one of the most attractive things in the world.
And this right here is the ultimate game changer when it comes to rejection. When you make your move and she says no, it is not a failure. It's actually a victory. Why? Because whether she said yes or no, she saw you. You made an impression. In that moment, you are not invisible. And that is the first, most important win you can get.
So in the end, this isn't about tactics to get a girl's number. It's about a real transformation. It's about shifting your entire focus away from getting approval from others and onto building value within yourself. Attraction just becomes the natural result of that. So the only question that really matters is, who are you investing in becoming?